Yeah, and then there's a report just come out January 27th out of the Associated Press. Gitmo soldier details sexual tactics, and more just torture everywhere. I do want to urge people to go to where was that we wanted to cover a little bit about the election real quick. We don't know too much, but I'm going to tell you right now, they got a bunch of different people running. And they got the people that they've put in, and then they've got other candidates. And really, we ain't got time to go through all this. Go to our website at harrythomas.nzfreeservers.com, and you can read any of these. But one is, I am going to predict that Allawi wins. And I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry. Allawi. Here's out of the Gulf News, January 26, 2005. Source: Iraqi election a done deal. The villages are forced to vote for Allawi to keep food rations. The outcome of the election is more or less a done deal, he told me. Allawi is set to continue. And then it goes on to say, tipped to oust Ali is the head of the Supreme Council of Islamic Revolution in Iraq, Abdul Aziz al-Hakim. I'm sorry I massacred his name. And he is clamoring for American troops to go home pronto. Well, he's not going to win, because that's not part of their plan. Since Bush has promised the occupying force will abide by the wishes of the sovereign Iraqi government, his call could prove embarrassing. Well, it's not going to be embarrassing, because this guy's not going to win. Allawi is. And, I'm not even going to get into it, because I know it's all rigged. It's all a sham. It's all a sham over there. And we did confirm the Boston threat was a false alarm. The FBI said Tuesday there was no credibility, And, this is, again, just fear leaked to the press. Here's some news stories, and I know we're running long on this segment, but we're just going to have to keep it going. Subverting the press with propaganda on the rise. This out of L.A. Times. President Bush has repeatedly attributed 9/11 to terrorist attacks, and that matter, virtually all hostility toward the Islamic world. We all know that, And they hate American because we love freedom and all this other nonsense, all right? They're continuing the illegal activity. Shortly after 9/11, reports began to circulate that the administration's Office of Strategic Influence was planning to plant false news stories in the international media. In 2002, amid Musk controversy, the office was shut down. But the Times colleague Mark Manzetti said much of that mission of the OSI, including using information as a tool of war, I'm talking about mind control, people, has been assumed by other offices throughout the government. So, they're not even going on with it, And there's more here I wanted to cover, but this stuff is all omitted. All administrations try to manipulate the news media and shape the nation's news agenda, it says. They do it by controlling access to the president and other top officials, by timing their announcements, and by leaking selectively, and like other institutional agencies, public or private, by trying to put the best face on everything they do. Spin. This stuff is omitted.
Yep, I have an article here from the Boston Globe, January 7, 2005. Bush team scolded for disguised TV report. What they're doing is paying so-called journalists to to convey these messages disguised as news. And, it's unethical. Journalists are not supposed to do that. They're supposed to report the facts, not the skewed vision of what the government wants the public to believe.
It's illegal. It's not even just that. It's illegal.
Yes, it is.
And here's another headline. Chicago Tribune, January 26, 2005. Another columnist paid to promote Bush policy. $21,000 in federal contract to help promote a proposal, the Washington Post reported Tuesday. And that's Melly Gallagher from the Department of Health and Human Services. And I believe most people are good. And here's another one down a little farther, a $241,000 contract. And they want to give $500,000 to the county we live in to support Homeland Security, and the people need to say no to this stuff. And if you're working in one of these governmental offices, start standing up against this stuff. If they want you to do it, say no. It's we the people.
Right. If you're working as a journalist, the same thing.